because and I'll send you the video. Wait. Okay, good afternoon, YouTube. This is man, aka George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. And we have a very special guest, one Miss Jada Beverly, and she was a physique competitor, but she is just now switched to women's bodybuilding. So welcome, Miss Beverly, and thank you for coming to our show. I know we had a little issue earlier. I know you're a busy lady. You got things you got to do.
That was actually my bad.
Yeah, this happens in life because like I said, I had interviewers where either this happened or that happened. Or that. But like I said,
Yeah.
now how long? Yeah, but first question I want to ask you: what got you into the sport of bodybuilding? What seriously got you into the sport?
When pageants weren't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was doing that first, and then I was basically told when I went to an international pageant when I won a small title in Ohio, and instead of having nationals, they go straight to internationals. Well, who does that? But anyway, and we questioned
Mm-hmm.
why. Um, I wasn't even considered to be in the top 15, which was kind of a shocker. And one of
Mm-hmm.
the judges had made the comments of something to do with um, that I was not the look they were going for, partially because I had too dominant of a athletic physique. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like I was wearing the clothes, they weren't wearing me, and that's kind of like I was over dominating all the different looks that you wear for each walkout and each part of the pageant thing. I'm sure you've seen a pageant before, but anyway. So it got me
Yeah.
thinking. I was like, well, I'm wasting my time then, because if they want Victoria's Secret models, no, sir, you are correct. That is not me.
No. Well, that's how it is sometimes. It's just, everybody has a certain look, and that's what, and I think mostly with these pageants, everybody wants the standard. You have to look like a stick figure with balloon
Mhm.
chest, and you were
Exactly.
more athletic. Yeah, you were more athletic. You were fit, and that kind of, some guys it put them off a little bit about that. But
Mhm.
make the switch
Okay.
because you said you switch over and then you start out in figure, which is like kind of like it was all shot of both between fitness and physique. And you did
Exactly.
that for you did that for how long you did that before you went up to physique?
Quite a long time. I was, a fresh novice is what we call it. You're not even an amateur yet. You're like legitly a novice until you've at least done two shows. So I did, I knocked that out. Then I went to Florida, and then I did it for about, I want to say, I was messing around with physique or figure for a good 5 years. And then I had made a switch to physique in 2018. I was still doing figure at that time. So I had done the Arnold, and then I did the Mike Francois, which is held up here in Ohio, and I did physique and figure at that show and won them both. But the physique class was way more stacked. And the fact that I took my first open physique, which meant I didn't even do a true novice physique, I didn't do a novice physique. I went straight to open. So, and won that. So
So
that's when it was like, the writing on the wall for me. Okay, we're switching this division. We're doing far better in this division right now than we are the other one.
plus you got tired wearing the high heels.
No, actually, I loved
That's
it.
what.
I like that pageant
Oh,
thing.
you love the high heels.
That's what was so
I,
easy to cross over into fitness after pageants was the heels. I was
mhm.
already used to walking out in heels in a bathing suit. So
Oh yeah, I think mostly I think with most some girls who make the switch because you already had that pageant background and you're comfortable with that. I realize that. But other women who
yeah,
make that switch because they like they get tired of the high heels.
yeah, I hear that a lot. Yeah.
What was I trying? I researched this. There's so much I can find about you. And then after that, you competed in your. What was your first major show? I was trying to remember that.
for Physique.
Yeah.
After the Francois, I should have just took the year off. Instead, I tried to meddle in trying to, oh, let me see how I would do in a national show. But my body
Uh,
was ready for that. I needed a break
yeah.
and should have done it. And I went to Miami,
Yeah.
and I will admit, I went there looking like a fool. I'll admit that. But I came back strong in 2019, the next year. Did really well at, well, the warm-up show was, well, actually, I did a home front, a little local show, and did figure again and physique. Won the physique. So I never lost a regional physique show. And then I did the figure class, which was like 11 deep, and it was very close. I lost third place by, like, I think it was a point, uh, against a competitor on my team at the time. And she and I both went in. I beat her in physique, and she beat me in figure. But
The first.
she was 4 shows deep too, so her conditioning was impeccable at that time, and I was fresh out of the, out of the sea, pretty much.
Mhm.
So then we went
Yeah.
to juniors, and I still needed to work on some things, but I took second at juniors nationals, and then I went to universe and took third out of a steep class. And people argued that I was screwed out of a pro card that day. And I guess, I'll leave that to fans and people, like, that were watching. I was told by a lot of people I should have turned pro
That's
at that show. But then I went to
yeah.
junior
Uh,
USA's. You know what USA's is? That's like the prestige one. And I took that show, and that's how I
yeah.
turned pro in physique.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
year
That's the thing. We're always
2020,
ooh,
huh?
2020. Oh my God. We don't get stuck in 2020. It's been like a mess. Ooh. Yeah. I think with the whole virus thing, it messed up a lot of shows. I know. They
Yeah,
still had the Arnold Classic, but they had to cut out a lot of
barely.
yeah, because they had to cut out the convention part of it,
The expo. Yeah,
and
yep, they sure
then
did.
there was so many shows
A
were
lot of
moved
money.
around and rearranged. I know that New York Pro, when they brought back women's physique and bodybuilding, and and they did it at the they
Go
did it
ahead.
at the did it okay. They did it in Tampa, and then you had your other shows that
Yeah,
even the Chicago Pro was moved all the way to Atlanta, and then you did the
yeah,
Arizona Pro, the Rising Phoenix, and even though originally supposed to have been done in Las Vegas, but because of the guidelines they put in for Vegas, that both the Rising Phoenix and the Olympia had to move from Vegas. Rising Phoenix went back to Arizona, and the Olympia back to um, to Orlando.
Orlando. Yeah, it was quite an interesting year. I did 3 total shows. Well, no, two of them in Florida. Two of them, yeah.
Yeah, because I
So
know you did you did both the Tampa and New York, and you did
yeah,
the
yeah,
Chicago. And like I
yeah.
said, and
I also did Shreveport, which arguably was my absolute best look, and people didn't know how I didn't take that show. And then I did the before that was Omaha. That was the first one of the year. So
mhm,
I did
yeah,
five. I did five last season. Yeah. So 2020 was five physique shows. So that's how I
mhm.
would really give my answer as to where I stand with physique.
Yeah, because I think there was at the New York Pro. I know that's where Myla Ash. She did a show. I think a couple of weeks before the New York, and they told her
No,
about the same thing. They
she
told
did.
what?
They told her the same thing that they told me. And as a matter of fact, I told her first because I went straight to the judges. We were both at Shreveport.
Oh,
We were both at
oh,
Shreveport.
it's Shreveport.
And I said, Mila, you're not gonna believe what they're telling me. And I suggested the idea of bodybuilding, and she was like, bodybuilding. She's like, oh no, no, no. I said, Mila, I said, listen to me. I said, this is what they're saying. I was like, you're even bigger than me. I was like, if you're gonna do New York, I was like, you need to do bodybuilding. I was like, I don't think
Hmm.
I can do it just yet. I might have to wait till Chicago. But I said, you have the chance right now. And
Yeah.
we had that little conversation and we talked. And she emailed, to switch her contract, going off of what, one of the judges had discussed and told us, and her, well, because I told her to go talk to him. And she had that discussion
Mm-hmm.
with the judges, and she switched things up at the IFBB Pro, official office. And I know the story because I was there. I talked to her, and she did the New York Pro, and I told her the night before. I said, "You're gonna win this." She's like, "I don't know, girl." I was like, "Mila," I was like, "You're gonna win," and she won.
She won, and then
And then I
and
told
then
her, I was like,
yeah, and then she turns
and then
around and go to the
yeah,
Olympia and take
and I
fourth
told her,
place.
yeah, yeah, and I told her, I said, "Mila, you're gonna do very well." I was like, "You're gonna do very well at the Olympia." I was like, you're guaranteed top 5." I told her, and I said, "You might even take top 2. I don't know." And she was like, "Well, I remember what you said the last time I did at a show." And I was like, "Yeah," but she did very well. And she could have done even better in my opinion. But yeah, she did very well. I thought she should have got top 3.
Well, she
I say
was.
that.
Well, you got to think at the Olympia, she was in between two bookends, a big Swede and a big Dane. That was Irene Anderson and Hella Trevino. But she did pretty good
Yep.
compared to
Yep.
like within
Yeah.
the top 5. Those girls were way bigger, especially Andrea Shaw. Excuse me for a second. I'll be right back. I apologize. It's just a delivery person just dropping something off.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, so rumor has it that they're supposed to
Okay.
be slightly
Anyway,
downsizing it.
is our saying,
Huh? I think you're breaking up a little bit.
you know,
You broke up a little bit, so I don't know what you said.
what happened? All right. What? Oh, damn it. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Oh yeah. I was about to say, like I said, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me
it's
now?
just breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Jada.
Yes, can
Okay.
you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Well, wait for a minute. Wait a second. I can hear you. Oh, I got some friends in the stream. My man, Dennis Espinoza, who I call the Hand of the King, Warner West. He wants to say hello to Jada. And my man, Marcus Bell, he wants to say hello also. These are my friends. We follow a website called CS Combat Sports. We talk about women A and other stuff and boxing and a lot of stuff. And that's how I really got into this because of a gentleman by a gentleman by the name of Coach Sherry Harrison. He really inspired me to start doing this because of my love for bodybuilding. And
Yeah.
yesterday I just did an interview. Yeah, and yesterday I did an interview with Frida Gibbs, a former kickboxing and MMA champion. And it's just it's something I really like to do, and we like to help you ladies out and try attention because grassroots like us, we really get y'all into games. Like I know you get your IG, you're working out, you're doing a lot of videos.
Yeah.
I saw a video that you did with Jim Mannion, and it was a pretty good video. I like
Yeah.
that. We talked about how you
Yeah.
talked about y'all love for Marvel, and I got some. See it?
Yes.
Yeah, but like I said, when you told Mila about she making that decision to go to over the bodybuilding, and that was pretty good advice for her. And you taking that advice and you want to take the time off and try to develop your physique, or you're going to try to compete this year.
I should have done what she did, and I was supposed to, but I was persuaded otherwise. And it was a hard lesson learned to finish the year out in physique. And I hate to say that I should have listened to someone that was much wiser, someone that I call the Yoda of bodybuilding world. I won't say his name, but he knows who he is. I should have taken his advice instead of the rest of the advice, and was persuaded to go to Chicago and stick to physique. which hurt me very badly. I had to try to train my body back to the idea of going back into physique 4 weeks out. And it just got everything just kind of just got really messed up. And I was like stressing, 5 shows deep. I need to stop at 4. And I learned this the year before, not to do 5, because I did 4 national shows the year before and a pro show. Shouldn't have done that pro show. I should have gave myself a break, but I just wanted to jump right in the water. So I knew better not to do 5 shows, and I did it. So we were holding massive water, and we just couldn't get the sharp leanness that we had at the other 2.
Yeah, like Master Yoda says, do what, not do bad. Fear is the thing that kills you. Fear to stop it. But also, I got from one of my subscribers, Beautiful Muscle Woman. He says, "Hail to Queen Jada, FIMI," and he's one of my subscribers. He's on Instagram. He's a fan of yours. He's a fan of Lady Bodybuilders. Anyway, yeah.
Tell her
And
so
like I said, she said, "Thank you so much, Beautiful Muscle Woman." And it's like people who admire you ladies, and there are people who, like, a while ago I did a podcast where I talk about the bitter side to the sport, where you have to deal with people's attitudes, their harassment, and they would say like they say like Jada, yeah. Because I know, like I said, a while back I did a video with an interview with Teacher Tagnesi Thomas. She just put out her documentary a few months ago, and it's this thing that mentality people that they say like this, like, look at you, Jada, you're a very beautiful girl. I don't understand why you want to be so manly. It just have muscles, be like a man. I'm like this. Wait a minute. If she was a man, she have a beauty like I would. And that'd be different. I mean, you are a female and you are an athlete, and for like this, and also y'all ladies do this sport of a passion, because you don't make as much money compared to the men or even women in other sports. As you know, I did a video where I talked about how between posing suits, makeup, jewelry, travel,
it's a little ridiculous.
I talked about how Andrea Shaw, who hit a triple header, she won Omaha. You were there when she won Omaha.
Yeah.
She won the Rising Phoenix, and then she turned around with Miss Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
And altogether, maybe a little over, counting close to maybe about $100,000. But then the fact is, after taxes,
she got $50,000 for Rising Phoenix. She got $50,000 at the Olympia. She got $33,000, I think, at Omaha, and she got a couple endorsements floating in there too, as well as the car that was worth about $50,000 too. So,
and $7,000 for most muscular at the Rising Phoenix. That was the prize she got. And to me, that should have went to Monique Jones. I think Monique was more muscular than her. Monique, Andrea has a great shape, but it should have went either to Monique or Irene Anderson. I know Alicia Young usually was the most muscular, but Alicia came a little tighter last year. I mean, she looked a little more tighter than she was usually. But like I said, we talked about how people troll, you're on social media or you're out in public, and I know if you want something like that, and guys see you, they approach you, and you're attractive woman, but it's not long. It won't be long as out, and you see you wearing something like a tight, something tight, and you see the muscles. You ever had the problems with how men approach you, or just how people see you when you're out in public?
Not as much as I think some of the women that you just discussed, because I may have a decent amount of muscle on me, but I've managed to stay too feminine. Like I'm just, and I've been told that a lot. That's the reason why I made the decision to try bodybuilding, because I swore to everyone, even Dennis James, I was like, there's no way. I was like, I'm too little. These women are giants. And he was like, Dennis James was like, have you heard of the Giant Slayer? So like, Yeah, I've been able to remain quite feminine. I mean, my bone structure is big, but it's still not as big as some of those women. Like my waist, I mean, it's so tiny, in comparison to these bodybuilders. So like for me, I've not really had to cross that thread too much. I'm more, people know that I'm female. They know that I'm feminine. They know that I'm, but if anything, men see me a little intimidating because, well, she's still feminine, but she still has quite a bit of muscle. Like, how'd she get that muscle and stayed that way? Like, it's kind of a
Yeah,
confusion to them, I guess. I don't know. But, because I've been around female bodybuilders and I can only imagine what they think about them, but with me,
yeah,
it's just like it catches them
yeah.
off guard. Like, it doesn't make sense. But,
Well, I know, like I said, yeah, yeah. I know there's quite a few female bodybuilders who are married, who have husbands, who have wives. Somebody cared enough to love them. Some of them some even before became bodybuilders, they were with them, and some have during the time. And I know I've
mhm.
seen some with couples. Yeah, I think often I've been following bodybuilders since I was 13. My brother, he was older. My older brother used to play football. He used to bring the muscle mags. And I was a guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, Samir
Yeah.
Bannout, Lee Labrada, those guys. And then I had crushes on Bev Francis, Vicky Gates, Rosemary Jennings. I mean, I even have a page. I have a Facebook page called For Love of Rosemary Jennings, where I just make posts and stuff about Rosemary Jennings. I'm a big fan of hers. And some of the women I like now, I'm a big fan of. I like Marjorie V. Martin. She's pretty good. Andrea Shaw, I just really got into. Hella Trevino. There's some ladies who really
Now
just.
she would be considered the biggest of the biggest.
Oh, Margie.
She's no, well, her Margie and Hella Trevino
Hella
are those and Monique. Those are the
and Monique
biggest of
and
the.
Irene. Yeah, yeah. And even though
I think what's her name is bigger than Irene though, but that's just my opinion.
yeah, and
Monique.
she's shorter, Alicia Young, she's kind of massive for a short girl. She's 5'3", and she's kind of massive.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, but like I said,
Yeah, but the
who?
rumor is, to make this marketable so it doesn't go away again, they're supposed to be kind of like having the looks change a little bit, getting some other sizes and shapes, in that division. And women like me
Mm,
are supposed to fill, and like Mila and like Roshana and,
hmm
uh, you know, women that are smaller in the division are supposed to be able to feel a little more comfortable because like us standing next to the masses, I mean, we're just like, and why are we competing in this division with them? So there's supposed to be some work with that, where some
yeah,
in-betweenish stuff going on, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to size up as best
yeah.
I can and see what I have to work with, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going to look for me this season, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, because I know I did an interview with Sue Price, and she came in. She was considered one of the shortest women in the sport, and she said after a point she didn't want to get to that certain level like Kim Savetsky or Linda Murray or Lisa Lewis, get so big. So she eventually said, she just walked away from the sport.
Yeah,
And I
it's
respect the choices
crazy.
when people walk away. Time,
Yeah.
Yaxinio King, who was one of the few, yeah, and Yaxinio King was one of the few women who was like almost constant. She didn't compete for like almost a couple of years, but she came back. She competed a couple of shows, and then she decided to retire.
Okay. Well, with me, I'm just gonna see
Yeah,
what happens with me this season. I was really hoping that Wings of Strength would like take me under their wing, and I did apply for their ambassador program, but
yeah,
wasn't selected. So it's a little scary
mm-hmm.
because then you feel like you're kind of like a lone wolf out there on your own. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I have faith that God,
Yeah,
is gonna stand with me in this. So we'll see
yeah,
what happens. And it's a door for me to do other things, what may come. We'll see, but
yeah. 'Cause, yeah, I just did a video where I talked about the the ambassador brand. Some of the ladies are repeats like Tina Williams and Alicia Young, and then we have some totally new ladies. We got this some ladies that are who I recognize from Physique, like was it Shika Nguyen? She's from Singapore. A couple ladies from Russia, one from Slovakia, whatever the name is. It's some
Hmm.
Central Europe, and just basically some of the same old with some new faces here and there. And Winter Strength has been the kind of the savior for female bodybuilding, because I know back in 2015 there was going to be Miss Olympia, but then there's also
Yeah,
some issues with it. And there was talk about there was Natalia Kozlova was supposed to come over, but then I think there was some issues. I think she's supposed to have been an ambassador too, but
she
I don't
is
know what
now.
happened. There was issues with that. No, that's the other Natalia. There's two
Oh, the
Natalias.
big one.
There, yeah, the big
Yeah,
one.
I think
Everybody
she's
call
so
her
big.
Emma's.
I think that with her, people would be worried that bodybuilding is going to go right back to the reason it left before, because she she's too big. No woman but her wants to be that big.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
she's
I
massive. She's
respect it.
massive.
I think what you said is great, but I'm just being honest.
She's massive. I think someone who probably reminds me that was about that as big as her was Renee Tony, and that was back in the 90s. Renee Tony was a huge chick, and I follow her on social media, and she's still a big woman. She's not as as muscular as she was back then, but
Yeah.
she's still big, because I know she's like about 6. Anyway, always often I ask the ladies, like, what was your athletic background? I know you say you did horses, track
Yeah.
and field, and that's where often many women who transition into sport started, either they had athletic background or they
Yeah.
either had an eating disorder and they got into it because of health reasons.
Thought I heard somebody at my door. I'm sorry.
That's right. All right.
But
No,
yeah,
it's just, yeah,
yeah. I mean,
I did it to me, so that's fair.
I just feel like, yeah, it's I've always felt like I've been trying to find my nick in this world, because I've always just felt like I was supposed to be something more than just have a typical life, you know? So I've been trying to find the shoe that has um fits, like, my fitting slipper. In pageants I thought was it, and then it wasn't, and then I saw, this whole fitness thing. I started that because I've always, been grown up to be strong and be athletic, so it made sense, to start working out and try this new thing out. And so far it's been good, but now I'm, facing the biggest jump of my life into a very tough division, and I'm, you know it's not going to be
Yeah,
a
so,
easy road for this.
yeah.
um
You feel like it. You feel like it. Yeah, you feel like you're jumping a parachute. You feel like you're jumping a plane without a parachute, or
yeah,
you're not sure if you.
I would have,
Yeah,
yeah, I would have
yeah.
felt better. I would have felt better if they would have selected me as they did some of the other new faces that are crossing from physique to bodybuilding. I think I would have felt better. I would have felt like, okay, they believe in me. That's awesome.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
on the team, and let me see what I can do. And now it's like, oh
Hmm.
God, you start questioning, like, geez, does anyone believe I can do this? you know? So yeah, it's a scary thing, but
Yeah.
like, I don't have any choice but to keep moving forward, because I sure can't fall back to physique. They've changed the look. They've changed the look. I mean,
Uh-huh.
they want hardness and streamline. And that is not my physique. I've never been able to come in stringy and streamlined. I have streamlines, but not, you I think you know what I'm saying when you look at some of the female
Yeah.
physique women.
Physique,
I never
because I
I
know
never got that.
because I know when at Olympia, Sarah Vegas won the Olympia over
Yep.
Shanique Grant, and
Yes.
Shanique had a look to her. She's taller a little bit more, and Sarah looks a little bit more kind of a a classic throwback, like maybe early
Dana Lynn
'90s, mid
Bailey.
'90s, and
Dana Lynn
mhm.
Bailey.
And then
They want Physique to look
yeah,
like that.
yeah, and then you had, I think, and that was the top. Who I think it was Sarah Vegas. Then you had Sneak. Then you had Natalia Abraham, Barbara Majan, and also you had Ivy Rain. And Ivy, she's a little too big for the division. Her shoulders are like boulders. I mean, she was doing an interview with AJ Roberts over at female bodybuilding channel, and in the screen, her shoulders took to the screen. And I often talk to Barbara Majan on Instagram, and I show a picture of her when Barbara was getting her flowers for fourth place, and on the side, I've seen the picture. And how Ivy Rain had a look to her face. I'll send it to you. But like I said, a lot of girls in that show did not make. Some of them I feel like what I thought was going to make the top 5, top 10, like Richard
Yeah,
Daniels. But I think one thing she did was she didn't let her hair hang. Her style is kind of really. She should have had her hair in a bun or having that that ponytail like she has. I think
I
Olivia
did not
Beige.
think that she was
She,
gonna make it in the top 5.
I thought she at least gonna make the top 10. In my personal opinion, I didn't think she. But I
Yeah,
thought at
I
least she made the
figured
top
top
10.
10, but I definitely didn't think top 5. I pretty much knew who was going to be in the top 5, and everybody was correct except for Ivy Rain. That's the best she's ever done. I don't think she made the top 10 last year, so that was a huge jump for her. A huge jump. So good for her.
Yeah,
Good for her.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I think that's all. Because I think with Shanique gone, I think it's gonna change the next this year's how this year's gonna work. Because with her gone, then I think it's just gonna be still Sel is going to defend her title. The title's gonna be there. I don't know if Bobby Majan's gonna make the top 5, and most definitely I know Ivy Rain's gonna make time. I know they were talking about Ann Moon, but Ann Moon's kind of big for a girl, and Valentina Manishina,
She's
she's kind of
really
big.
tall.
I think, yeah, I
Valentina's
think
gonna have to
her,
make
Katie,
the move that I'm moving. She's gonna have to make the move that I made.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Her, I think Katie Lee, because I follow Katie Lee, and Katie Lee's right now. She's doing BJJ tournaments right now. Because and there's some girls I made a list of that most definitely I'm seeing they're gonna have to go to over to bodybuilding because they have not placed
Yeah,
too well. I know.
because once they took that from Shanique, my whole year was validated. Um, and
Mhm.
I had a sneaky suspicion that Shanique wasn't going to get the title this year because of what I had seen as I'm competing, in physique that year. And I saw the changes being made. I saw it. And I was like, man, the Olympia is going to be interesting. And then she loses her title,
Yeah,
and then everything's been validated because I kept trying to say just what
yeah,
the judges had told me, the feedback that I had gotten. I'm like, okay, well, this is a new look they're going for. They're going for a more compacted, not so bulgy muscle, not so much shape anymore. You can have a few parts missing as long as you come in shredded hard and you have a good like back pose and shreds back in the glutes and streamline and hardness. I was like, this is the look. They're going back to
yeah,
the Dana Lynn Bailey thing. And I was like, that's going to knock Shanique out because let's be honest, that's not her. She has a nice 3D bubbly look. She has you know, I don't know. It,
yeah.
it, it
Eh,
sucks. It's like she's the second, like, most craziest looking athlete that decided, I'm done with this. Because
and the
I
thing,
still remember my favorite figure girl, my favorite, Kansas Carter Lewis. She never won the title, and she sure should have,
yeah,
in
that's
my
kind of like I
opinion.
know, like I know being a falling bottom loctite for a long time. Like I know last year was I know when Richard Daniels won the New York Pro, and then Olivia Bay won the Chicago Pro, and I was thinking, well, they're a little more streamlined. They have big boobs, a little bit smaller, a little more streamlined, And I was surprised that those girls are winning those shows. We usually go with more women with a little bit more a certain look, and also you gotta like I said I did an interview with Nancy Lewis, who's a legend, and she has been told like when she was competing, she had judges told her to do certain things like fix the space between her teeth and get breast implants. And she never ever did that. She kept her look, and I always loved the look about her. She had just that interesting, loving look about her. And I always
I've
had
never,
like
I've
you and
never
all
known
the
someone to be told to get breast implants. Wow, that's crazy.
there's been quite they don't tell you it said like when you were told by the judges how you might need to go to bodybuilding, and sometimes they have been told that they will sometimes they won't say nothing about it, and they eventually because the fact is that they're pushing that femininity look because they feel that breasts make you more feminine. But I've done a video where I talked about how some women who had gotten breast implants who decided to take them out because they were making them sick because that's the hazard of it. It's one of those damn you do, damn you don't situations. And there are quite a few women who have done it, and those parents who do that. And I think it's mostly because you want to respect your body and how you want to look. And it's not always for everybody. That's up to you how you want to compete. But
Yeah.
here's one thing: who do you is the biggest person that really feel like that you really into the sport? Who you admire, who you follow.
Oh, no one really got me into the sport. It just kind of like was something I love the sport altogether. Like I love it, you know, as a whole. I mean, I follow every guy's division too, believe it or not. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it wasn't like, it was I want to be in the sport because I want to be in it and I feel like I have a niche for it somewhere. I just have to keep switching divisions so I find it, I guess. um, but there's a lot of people that I respect and admire in it. Margie, I think, is a wonderful, wonderful bodybuilder. I will never have legs like her though.
Those quads are killer. She got killer quads.
And she's so fun and she's so nice. So,
Yeah, yeah.
for bodybuilding, I'd have to give it to her as being like my favorite because earnestly and honestly, I've met a lot of these ladies. I've met a lot of them, and she's truly herself. She's truly who she truly is all the time, and that's important.
And like I said, yeah. And what I respect about her because she served our country as a Marine, and that's
Yeah,
an
so
honorable
I
thing.
was
And
or
then,
the Navy,
yeah,
so yeah.
yeah. And also, she's a mother. She has two children, and that's the thing. Also, I think that's one thing is being a bodybuilder. It's a selfish kind of lifestyle, but she's able to have the love of children. She has a boyfriend. She also has stepkids, and I think that's the thing about her is that she ever let because I follow her on social media, and I make comments about the things she does. And one time she was talking about how she was playing cards with her son, and I made a comment
Aw,
about it, and she responded to the comment, and we just laughed. It was just it's nice of her. I hope
she's
maybe
so
someday
funny.
if I get to yeah, maybe I hope that someday she give a chance. I know she's a busy lady. I might want to do an interview with her. A while back, I tried. I was reached out to Iris Kyle because Iris. She was supposed to compete at the Olympia, but she dropped out because she was sick. I did a video about her. I hope she get better. I reached out to her about doing a video, doing an interview, but she turned me down because she said because of her management, they want to do an interview. But like I said, as
Okay.
a small YouTuber, yeah, as a small YouTuber, we do this because we do this for the joy of it. And we try to get y'all women's attention because, we want y'all to succeed. We want you to get attention via this because, this helps you out. And somebody might watch this video and say, wow, this is a cool lady. I might want to, follow her on Instagram or see if she's on Twitter or something like that. And, or even you might even get somebody like, if somebody share this, you might even get another sponsor saying like, she has an interesting story. Maybe I might want to sponsor her.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Because one of the things I was suggesting with a close friend of mine in Florida, like we might want to actually consider um going overseas to compete. That might be a different look for me. It might be an open door for me. Get in front of different judges, be in front of a different pan of judges and different promoters, just a change of look. So, you go in and
Hmm.
no one really knows me abroad, it could be interesting. I
Yeah.
was kind of hoping that maybe Canada would do their shows this year again, because they keep supporting women's bodybuilding, and it would be
There's a,
nice to do. Huh? Go ahead.
yeah, I know. Yeah, but with things going right now, Canada's very shut down. I don't think they're gonna have the super show like today. I think this is gonna have a super show unless they move the super show to maybe to America like they did, like how they did with the New York Pro and the Chicago Pro. Go overseas, you might have to do like this. You might have to go to Mexico or Turkey
I see.
and
I was
quarantine for
wondering if
about.
Mexico. I was wondering if Mexico was putting on shows. I think I would do probably very well in Mexico.
You can always
I
try. Also, I think they do. Well, they might do some shows in the Caribbean. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
And then there's
I know Spain will do
always,
theirs, and
yeah,
UK, but
yeah,
Mexico
the
would be
UK,
easy to
yes,
jump. I just wasn't sure.
yeah.
I
You can
I
try,
didn't
can
know
check.
they had anything.
I know they do shows in Brazil because there's a lot of thing going on in Brazil, and because I follow some bodybuilders that live in Brazil. I'd love to see some more of them come over here once if they can because there's some impressive physiques over there. I remember one earlier you follow like this. She had a great physique. Selma Labat, she was pretty much amazing. There were some great women that came out of Brazil. And it's just that's I think this is the way to keep feedback going with fresher, newer competitors, with
Yeah,
competitors from across the seas, like from Europe or Central and some Southeastern Asia and like that. Because I remember back in 2013, the NPC decided to drop international competitions, and I think the last two women to come from overseas before they dropped it was Lisa Cross and Virginia Sanchez. And I'm a big fan of Virginia Sanchez. I follow her. But this is something I want to let somebody know real quick. I was watching an interview she did with Jimmy Onion. She is a big comic book fan. She likes Marvel and
okay.
DC. And I've been collecting comic books since I was a teenager. I have stacks of comic books in my in my storage room. My mom told me to
That's
one
awesome.
time just put them into there. Yeah, and I'm a big fan. And I know you were talking with Jim Mannion about doing like you wanted to be Storm, and
Yeah.
yeah, and with now. And I was one time I was talking with a friend of mine. We were talking on social media. We're saying like, what we should do, you ladies, a lot of you ladies. I thought like certain ladies, they go to the comic, they like Dina Massino and Isabel Terrell. They go to the Comic Cons and they dress up. And if I could, I would love to do something like this. Have a booth, get female bodybuilders and dress them as superheroes. Like you will make it maybe a good Storm or let's see who I can think of else. Vixen or there's always you get some like I can do Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel. I can see probably Valentine Missioner as a Wonder Woman and Kay Lee as a Artemis.
Yeah, maybe I can be X-23. I
X-23.
like I
This
like
because
her.
I think
She
yeah
has
I can see
Hispanic background, so that would actually work.
yeah, it would work pretty good. And also, we get Alicia Young to be Power Girl. She can have the boobs sticking out.
That's funny.
Yeah, that because like I said, I think this is the way because I think for y'all ladies, it's you have a regular job, and having a regular job and competing can be hard and stressful on you, isn't it? Sometimes because you gotta sometimes take some time off. You gotta go to a show, and it's just hard for a lot of ladies to do a
I
9 to 5.
stopped competing,
And,
and
and
I stopped working typically in May, so I can like actually get serious with like training. So that's what I
because
do. That's what anybody else does.
yeah, because you specialize in I forgot what you specialize in. Was it what was it again?
I do distribution work, but I don't really specialize in really anything. I am a personal trainer when people want the help, but the market for that up in Ohio is not like it was in Florida. So
we
it's not,
well you got to think
yeah.
about it. We go up north. It's a little colder, and most time people be, especially around this time of year, people be like clunking. I live in North Carolina. Right now, it's raining like cats and dogs here. We
Is
don't get snow like you do up there around here. Yeah, we don't get snow like you in Ohio. I got a friend. Her name is Alicia. Alicia Flario. She's a competitive bodybuilder. She lives in Florida, and the weather is always warm and sunny. Like
yeah,
California and Florida has been the mecca for bodybuilding because the weather is just other than maybe with Florida, you may have to worry about a hurricane every now and then, and with California, you might worry about fires. And with any
yeah,
place
fine. Yep.
else, yeah, and any place else, it's gonna be hard because not a lot of people are gonna be spending time working out. We kind of be like hedgehogs during the winter time.
Right. I'm considering
Yeah,
Texas. I'm considering it.
or you can always try Arizona. That's pretty good.
I thought about Arizona. I think I would prefer Texas over Arizona.
Yeah, the
Um,
hot. It's too hot.
yeah, no,
I
I
had a
don't, it's
nephew.
not that. It's not that. I spent some time in Arizona. Um, and I think I feel like Texas would be a little bit of a better fit for me, economically
Mhm.
too. Um, but yeah, so because Arizona is starting to get quite expensive, like quite.
Yeah,
So
and I
I
think,
think the living
uh,
expenses in Texas would be easier.
yeah, because I think that's what often a lot. Because I've known people who lived here in the South for a long time, like North Carolina, who go off, move to like up north, and then after a while, after a few years, they come back down and live here because it's cheaper to live here. Because I live
Yeah.
here in my own, like I for a long time was living. Me and my mother were living together. She passed away this summer, and we lived together, and our rent was like me and her together. Our rent was like $400 for our apartment we stay in, and now it's just me. It's just $200, and that's pretty reasonable compared to any place else. Because I had a nephew. He stayed up in New York, in Lower Manhattan.
Oh
He
gosh.
had a studio. He had a studio apartment, and he was paying $3,000 a month. And he
Yeah,
had
it's
that
so much.
bedroom.
It's
Yeah, I
impossible.
mean,
It's impossible.
yeah, I couldn't live like that. I couldn't. I just couldn't.
No, I can't.
But like
And
I
that's
said,
why I X out some of the places I was interested in living. And I just had to say, no, it's not gonna work. I would love to live in California, but I'm sorry, like
it's too expensive.
until I make a certain amount of money and something drastically changes in my life, it's out of the question. You know,
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately.
yeah. Well, like I said, this was a great interview. I enjoyed it. And I know you just getting off of work, you're just getting home, you're tired, so you just had surgery. I don't want to hold you up. I do
Oh, you're
appreciate it.
good.
Yeah, maybe when we get a chance, when you get, when the season gets started a little better, get a little settled, you get yourself into your swing. We do another interview. We see how the outcomes out. Like, and
Okay.
I'd love to talk to you again. And also, I want to when I end this quick, I'm going to talk to you a little bit for a second off camera and maybe make a suggestion to you. Okay, that's cool with you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, no
So I'm just gonna.
problem. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
All right. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'd like to thank y'all for coming by. My man's Dennis Espinoza, Marcus Bell, all the others. Thank you for the likes. Janine, Jada likes to thank y'all. And we appreciate your time and we support these ladies in the sport of bodybuilding. This is your man, all the way, George Page, aka the emperor of female bodybuilding talk. Like, don't like, subscribe. We're out. Mwah.
Hello.